Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, a night with 14 games the night before Thanksgiving, and they tried to fit in every game they could, it felt like, but that's great. We love it. That's more hoops. That's more to talk about. But the main topic of the night to me is the Miami Heat not making any sense once again because they beat the Cavs 129-96, a 33-point victory over a team that was scorching hot. They recently beat the Nuggets and then the Sixers, both without Donovan Mitchell, their best player. It doesn't matter. They've been really hot regardless. But the Heat still take them down, and there's still no Donovan Mitchell in this game. They do get Karis LeVert back, who missed the game against the Sixers, but, they looked really good, so I don't really think that's some sort of indictment against the victory, because they've been winning without him anyways. So you'd think this would be a close game. I think the Heat were favored by like a couple points, but no Bam Adebayo in this one for Miami, and the leading scorers for Miami are the oldest guy, I believe, on the team in Kyle Lowry, who finishes with 28, and then a rookie in Jaime Jaquez, who has 22. So your two leading scorers are an old point guard who most people said at this point was relatively washed, couldn't score. He was a negative on offense and defense, but he was fantastic in this game. Kyle Lowry was great. And then your second best player in this game was a non-lottery rookie, so not a guy you'd necessarily expect to contribute right away. Most teams, if your top two players are an old, considered to be washed player and a rookie who's not a lottery pick, you would lose those games. Like, let's look at other teams, for example, where that could be the case. Let's say the Rockets, their two best players in a game are Jeff Green and Cam Whitmore. They would lose that game. They just would, realistically. And then on top of that, let's say, they were missing Alperen Şengün as well, and there's no chance the Rockets win that game. For the Warriors, if they're led in scoring by Chris Paul and Brandon Pajimski, they're probably going to lose that game, and then they're without one of their top two players as well. Let's say one of Wiggins or Clay is out as well. Nobody's winning that game. You're just not. So for Miami to win this one by 33 points is just utterly ridiculous and doesn't even make any sense. Jimmy Butler, who's supposed to be the best player in this game on either side, finishes with 10 points on 3 of 12 shooting, but the Heat win again by 33 points. Well, let's take a deeper dive into their good performers. Kyle Lowry in this game, 28 points, 3 assists, 9 of 15 from the field, and a ridiculous 7 of 10 for 3, was a plus 21 on the game, and Kyle Lowry was phenomenal. Just making an impact offensively in the box score, doing a little bit of playmaking, but most of the playmaking in this game came to Jimmy Butler. But Kyle Lowry showing kind of glimpses of old Toronto Kyle Lowry, the all-star version of himself they thought they were getting when he signed like 3 or 4 years ago now. And it hasn't been that, but this is phenomenal. Like, Kyle Lowry was insanely good in this game. And then Jaime Jaquez as well. A lot of Heat fans are calling him the real Triple J, kind of a diss at Jaren Jackson Jr., but Jaime Jaquez Jr. has looked really good to start his rookie year. 22 points in this game to go along with 8 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field, and 4 of 4 from three-point range. And in case you're not getting the theme here, Miami shot the lights out from deep. 20 of 35 for 57% from 3. And when you do that and are as efficient as you are, also get 21 attempts at the line, you're going to win pretty much every single time. And they were great in this game. Had a bunch of people in double figures. So 4 of the 5 starters were in double figures, and then 4 players off the bench in double figures. So in total, 8 guys with at least 10 points for Miami. And it's just really impressive to see how they continue to win, no matter who's on the court, no matter what it looks like, what their chances are for winning, and how hot the other team is. Because the Cavs, like I said, were extremely hot coming into this game. And it's not like they played poorly. 46 57% from the field and 47% from three in this game. As a lot of Cavs games are, the pace in this one was not super quick. That's kind of a theme from Heat games as well. Like, they're not super fast playing teams, and because of that, both teams shoot well, and the Cavs shoot well but don't even hit 100 points, and the Heat shoot 57% from three and hit 129. I think this is around what the Pacers shot the other night when they put up 157. So the pacing obviously is different, but relatively decent defense for Miami, an extremely impressive offense, especially from Lowry and Jaquez. They get 14 from three different guys off the bench in Caleb Martin, Orlando Robinson, and Josh Richardson. And then Haywood Highsmith, who continues to be really effective as a starter, finishes with 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Thomas Bryant as well was pretty solid with 10 points and 7 rebounds. And the Heat do it again. They don't make any sense. The Heat should not have won this game, most likely, and they definitely should not have won it by 30 plus. But because of Lowry, Jaquez, and getting contributions from everyone, as they always do, the Heat win. Shout out again to Craig Porter Jr., who I made my video on yesterday, who's been really good as an undrafted rookie for the Cavs. 16 points in this game, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and shoots 50% from the field. But no one else was really all that impressive for them. Garland had 14 on over 50% shooting, but only took 11 shots, and 13 from Evan Mobley. Jared Allen only has 4 points on 2 shots. Not exactly what you want to see from the Cavs, especially from their starters, but Miami does a great job in this game without Bam Adebayo to pick up the victory thanks to Kyle Lowry and Jaime Jaquez Jr. But the Heat don't make any sense. But now let's move on to the different games from today. Shoot around the NBA, look at all the different outcomes, and try to get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA hoops. So, in other action from around the NBA, we had 13 other games. Very stacked night of NBA action. But I'll start us off with the Hornets taking down the Wizards 117 to 114. The Hornets pick up another victory after just beating the Celtics a couple nights ago now. But LaMelo Ball continues his extremely hot streak to start the year. 34 points, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds. He was great. Kuzma 1 rebound away from a triple-double for the Wizards. And, after coming back from a suspension, Miles Bridges just keeps getting better and better. In this game, he finishes with 33 points and 10 rebounds. Mark Williams as well, 11 points and 15 rebounds, and the Hornets win, send the Wizards to 2-12 on the year. Then the Magic beat the Nuggets 124 to 119, and this is either the Nuggets' third straight loss or 3 out of 4. It's been tough for them. Without Jamal Murray, they haven't been able to keep up with some of the better teams in the league. And yes, I said one of the better teams in the league. The Magic have been legit, looks super impressive. They moved to 10-5 on the year. Franz Wagner with 27 points for them in the victory. Watch out for Orlando, they are legit. The Hawks beat the Nets 147 to 145, and what I would say was the best offensive duel of the night, and it was a duel of 2 very high-scoring players. Trae Young with 43 points and 9 assists, and then Mikal Bridges with 45 points and 10 rebounds, looking a lot more like the Mikal we saw down the stretch of last season after he landed with the Nets. We'll see what it looks like when Cam Thomas gets back for them. I thought about making Mikal the main topic for the video, but decided to go with the Heat and their win over the Cavs instead. But the Hawks pick up a much-needed win and get back to 500, now 7-7 on the year. The Raptors take down the Pacers in what I would call a somewhat surprising upset, 132 to 131. Pascal Siakam was great in this game, 36 points and 10 rebounds. And Tyrese Halliburton, I think, legitimately looks like the best point guard in the East right now. 33 points and 16 assists. It feels like he has 15 or more assists in every single game now, which is just utterly ridiculous, but he has been phenomenal. But they lose this game. The Pacers fall to 8-6, and the Raptors go to 7-8, get closer to 500, which I think makes sense for them because the Raptors, to me, are a solid team. They're about an average team, so getting towards 500 good is where they should be realistically. The Rockets win against the Grizzlies 111-91 in Dillon Brooks' first kind of revenge matchup against the Grizzlies. He was not that good tonight, but Desmond Bane was, and he was chirping at Dillon Brooks. 23 points and 7 rebounds for Bane, and Jalen Green finishes with 34 points for Houston. Really impressive game for him, and the Rockets move to 7-6 on the year, sending the Grizzlies to 3-11. The Timberwolves take down the Sixers 112-99 to stay the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists from Anthony Edwards. No Joel Embiid for the Sixers in this game, and it really hurt them. The Pelicans beat the Kings for the second time in a row, 117-112, really hurting the Kings' momentum they had to start the year. Zion with 25 points and 6 assists. It feels like the Pelicans are getting sort of their mojo back and playing the basketball we saw early on, because they started hot in the year, then kind of stunk it up a little bit, and now they're back to hot, so that's good. The Thunder take down the Bulls 116-102, 40 points, 12 assists, and 3 blocks from SGA, who has been phenomenal, legitimate MVP candidate, and the Thunder are now 11-4 on the year. They've been elite. The Clippers take down the Spurs 109-102 and go. I feel like they're 500 now. Maybe they are 6-7. That might be right. But the Clippers have looked much better over the last few games. That's the benefit of playing a couple weaker opponents, I will say. But Kawhi with 26 points. And Victor Wembanyama, despite the loss, he's been good this season. The Spurs have not. But 22 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks for Wemby. Very weird situation in this game where the Spurs fans are booing Kawhi at the line. And Popovich grabs the mic for the stadium and talks about it. He says, please stop booing. We have more class than that. That did not stop the booing. I would say that actually made it worse. But I've never seen a coach interrupt a game to tell his fans to stop booing. So that was something for sure. The Trailblazers take down the Jazz 121-105. Now they are both 4-11 on the season. 30 points for Jeremy Grant. This was kind of a shocker to me. I thought the Jazz would get back on track and win this game. But the Jazz just do not have the same special feel they did last year. 2 games still going on. Mavs and Lakers with 10 minutes to go. The Mavs are up 93-80 on the Lakers. Excuse me, Luka's playing really well. And then the last game, the Suns are up by 12 on the Warriors with also about 10 minutes to go, 94-82. Kevin Durant with 26 points and 7 rebounds. It looks like it'll be a 6th straight game with at least 30 points. He's been phenomenal. The Suns are back on track. And Chris Paul gets ejected by Scott Foster because that's kind of their relationship at this point. But the Suns look much better with Book and KD there. Now let's get into the last segment, as I always want to do, the top 5 players of the night according to the Real Sports app. So let's get into that so we can get a glimpse of who the best performers were. Again, a couple games still going on, but I think we have a general idea of who played well and really impressed on this night. At number 1, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 40 points, 12 assists, and 5 rebounds. Nikola Jokic at 2 with 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists. He's been so good despite the Nuggets kind of struggling a little bit here. Tyrese Halliburton at 3 with 33 points and 16 assists. Trae Young at 4 with 43 points, 9 assists, and 8 made threes. And then Mikal Bridges at 5 with 45 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Not in the top 5, but I want to shout out Buddy Hield, who does finish at 6. 31 points and 7 made threes for the Pacers in their 1-point loss. He was really good tonight, but that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Thanks for watching. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the daily recaps, think about sticking around. But that'll be it for me. A great night of NBA basketball and enjoy your Thanksgiving. But I'm Herm. Have a good one.